I just wanted to share things that I struggled with when I was first learning. I think it's really important to allow yourself to have breaks.
Do you see yourself creating a course on animation or game-ready assets in the future?
Yes, the short answer is yes. The long answer is
Hello, everyone. This is X, Y, and Z, the podcast about all things 3D. And my today's guest is RacheleProjects, a very skilled 3D artist that specializes in creating dinosaurs inside of Blender, starting from a simple cube to a fully finished dinosaur. Welcome.
cute. Appreciate that intro. Everything in Blender starts with a cube, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Especially
definitely.
you start with a default cube and then you delete it.
You do
Like,
it, and then what I end up doing is I then re-add it. I'm like, why
yes,
did I delete
exactly,
it?
exactly, exactly.
I need it.
Yeah, everyone in Blender that uses Blender, I think, he does that or she does that. All right,
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I'll start with this question because I said your main content, your main idea of content is dinosaurs. So have dinosaurs always been a source of a fascination for you, even as a child? Can you remember your first encounter or memory with them? Obviously not in person, because I don't think you live you're not long on this planet that you you met them in
You never
person.
you never know. I could have been born in a little museum. But honestly, I I think A Land Before Time is always probably a child's first experience with dinosaurs. But I wouldn't say I was necessarily gravitated towards them until many years down the line where I actually
Mhm.
started to learn Blender. And I remember there was this artist, Horiaka something rather, and they just happened to pop up on my YouTube recommended,
Mhm.
and they were modeling a what's the one in Jurassic Park? It's a combination between the T-Rex and like some random species. It has like the spikes on the back. Oh, I forget. But I saw that
Mhm.
video
Yeah.
and I was just blown away. But and then for some reason I just went down this rabbit hole of just researching dinosaurs
Mhm.
and just thinking about the fact that they were actually on Earth
Mhm.
is just wild to me. So it just kind of blew me away a little bit.
Mhm.
And I think Dinotopia too. I think I
Oh yeah.
my nan from Australia, as a kid, my brother and I would go over and visit, and we used to go to like a Blockbuster back in. I'm aging myself right now, but back in my day, um, and I believe she would rent these TV show series movies for us, and I believe it was Dinotopia. Again, it's been so long, but
Mhm.
it was a mixture between humans interacting with dinosaurs and just I don't know. I thought it was really cool.
Oh yeah. I feel the same. For me, it was also Dinotopia a bit. I love that book. And Land Before Time, yeah, still a classic. um, so uh, you're an instructor. You sell courses online, but I also noticed that you sell, or you maybe used to sell, stuff on Etsy. So, can you tell us
Oh,
about your first sale? What it was, how it happened, and how it made you feel?
you mentioned my Etsy. Um, so maybe this is what you came across. I used to paint Pokemon on Pokemon cards, like where you would do full art, so you would
Mhm.
extend the artwork on it, and I would just list it and see if people liked it or not. And funnily enough, I think I gave away more of my work than I was making profit. I'd be like, oh, let me just throw in like an extra card, just because you bought $10 worth. Like, here's another card I spent 10 hours on. Go for it. Um, but it honestly, it felt pretty good, obviously, kind of validated like, oh, this is nice. Someone's actually interested in my work, which surprises me because sometimes I feel like I'm not even interested in my work. Like, who's gonna like this?
Mm.
Um, but I'm also very hard on myself too, which is not great. But I so I again, that's funny you mentioned the Etsy thing because I was thinking more Udemy. Like when I put my first course out on Udemy, it was to create a Tyrannosaurus Rex from scratch, and I believe that was using Blender version 3.0. And oh my gosh, I feel so bad for the people that bought that course because it's like 40 hours of just listening to me talk, like no cuts, no editing. Um, and and at first I was, you get the sales coming through. I was like, wow, people are really liking this. But it turns out with Udemy is that they have a lot of scammers. So what happens is people will enroll in your course, download all your content, get
Mm.
their refund because Udemy has a 30-day
Mhm.
refund policy. Um, and the sales were like $2 or something like that with conversion to US. And then you convert the credit card fees, transaction fees like that. Um, so I was going on the internet and like typing in, create a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Let me just see where this falls on the, Google search
Mhm.
ranking. And then all of these like websites were popping up, like, oh, download for free. And I'm like,
Oh
what?
no.
That's so it felt nice, but then I also was like, I need to step away from Udemy and do something for myself, even though, but long story to your question. It
Oh yeah,
felt
it's
good
fine.
to have a sale.
No, yeah,
It
I
felt good to
imagine.
be scammed too, so that's nice.
Yeah, because I mean, you can, on the brighter side of things, you can see that people really appreciated your course. That many people wanted to
Yes,
get it for free. So, um,
exactly. I'm like, they must like me enough to go through all the trouble of downloading like 50 gigabytes of work. So
yeah, it's whether you see the glass of water half empty or half full.
that's right. And I've had a lot of positive feedback with that too. Not everything about the Udemy course
Mhm.
was negative. Like there were definitely people that left me really nice reviews and comments as well, which I greatly appreciate for that. So not all of them are scammers.
Yeah. Mm. Now a bit more of a, let's say, lighter question.
Yeah.
If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be, and what draws you to that place?
Yeah, so as we were previously discussing a little bit, I would love to go and move to Australia. I'm fortunate enough to where my mom is Australian and my dad's American, so I have dual citizenship with the ability to work over there and live over there. And just coming back from my trip in Australia for the last month, it just felt more like home to me. I just love the people. I love the culture. Um, the water is beautiful. Even the plants and the wildlife is just. I feel like I'm in a Jurassic Park movie, just without the dinosaurs. I mean, there's definitely things out there that will kill you. And the spiders, I'm not a big fan of, but it keeps me on my toes. And you just got to carry around a little bit of bug spray and you're good.
So, did you have any like dangerous encounters with animals in Australia?
No, thankfully not. No, I was ready for it. Before you use like the loo, I always flush because you get like these big huntsman spiders. They're
Oh,
huge. They can be the size of your hand. And I've seen videos of them like hiding in the crevices of the toilets.
oh.
So you just have to be ready for anything, even at your most vulnerable moments. Um, but yeah, thankfully not this time.
So you wouldn't recommend going to Australia if you have arachnophobia?
I do have arachnophobia.
Oh.
Like I am deathly afraid of spiders. Like I have my vacuum just out. I have bug spray just in case I see a spider. Like it's gone. You're not gonna live here. I'm sorry. You don't pay rent. Like you gotta go.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
um, what does a typical day in your life look like? How do you prioritize between art, business, and personal time?
Um, so I live on a ranch and I work on my family ranch. So my daily life usually, and I mean, this can change depending on what happens throughout the day, but generally, I wake up in the morning, I go out, I feed the animals, I'll do some ranch work, whether that just be trimming some trees, I don't know, cleaning up donkey poo, uh, changing water troughs, checking on the cows, because they do all sorts of silly things. And we just had a cow that had like blood just shooting out of its
Oh.
ear. So we had to get the vet out and like you have to put them through like it's called a squeeze that holds them together just so they don't. Anyway, lots of fun stuff. So I'll usually do that for a couple hours. And then because it's summer here, it gets really hot at about, say, noon. So what I would usually do is come inside. I might take a quick nap or something just to refresh, shower, and then I'll start, excuse me, working on recordings or so for YouTube or for any of my courses that are in progress or unfinished. But that's pretty much my day. I try to split everything in half. Work, my work, and then I'll go back out and do some more ranch work when it cools off.
Mm-hmm. So do you keep like a, let's say, a calendar, or do you just kind of feel like this is around 50% of the time that I am willing to put into, taking care of the animals, and then it's uh, doing courses or just art, let's say.
Yeah, my day is pretty flexible because I do kind of work for myself, and even on the ranch, it's fairly independent unless, again, like a situation where the veterinarian has to come out and I need to be there at a certain time for that, like allocated hours or whatever. Um, so it just depends. As far as like putting content out, I'm going to get back onto schedule. I had a kind of video upload schedule that I was following. So I wanted to make sure that I had recorded a course, whatever time, that could have been midnight and I was recording, as long as I had something to post. I tried to be as committed to that as possible. I kind of fell off that for a little bit since going away, but now that I'm back, that is sort of, and it's really good for engagement as well. I mean, I've even noticed a drop in engagement, a drop in not like necessarily followers, but through YouTube, the algorithm, I believe, appreciates consistency, as well as unfortunate like not clickbait, but good headlines that
Mhm.
catch people's attention, and then the amount of time they're watching your video. But yeah, just trying to be consistent with both the ranch and my personal work.
Yeah, I see. So, how do you handle self-doubt, especially as a uh, solo entrepreneur and artist? Because I think everybody has these self-doubt thoughts.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I self doubt pretty much every day, I think. Um, the thing that I find for myself is just pushing through and doing something for a project, whether that just be like a short term goal or a long term goal, just finishing it. Doesn't have to be amazing or anything like that. As long as you feel validated after you finished it, that's all that matters. Um, I think it's really important to allow yourself to have breaks as well, especially if you start feeling feelings of self-doubt. Um, a thing that I also found worked well for me was reading books such as, not self-help books, like they're just sort of to get you on track. Like a great book would be Atomic Habits,
Hmm.
just filling in where you might be less, feeling like you're missing out on sort of these expectations of yourself. Just realigning, sort of. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's the second time that Atomic Habits has appeared or has been told by someone it's a good book. So if you haven't, as a viewer, if you haven't checked it out, definitely read it.
Yeah, it's a
I
great
also
book.
love it. Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
So you know you describe in your your description of the channel that you've started to focus on Blender a bit during the COVID-19. So how did the COVID pandemic influence your path into teaching? Do you think you would you would have still become an instructor without it?
So COVID-19, that was a big one for everybody. I think it honestly brought a lot of people to Blender during that time for whatever reason. The YouTube algorithm just said, "Hey, check out this program." Initially I have an Instagram where I was doing a lot of Photoshop manipulations. And so essentially what that is you just take say 5 images and you combine them into one piece to make it look like it's just one image. Um, and I was enjoying that at first. I did that for about a year. And again, self-doubt started to kick in. I thought, this isn't going to kind of get me anywhere. I wasn't feeling very accomplished with it. There were a lot of people that were much better than myself, so I was like, this is just not it for me. There was this person that I was following. I'm not sure if he's changed his username ever since, but he goes by Truth by Nature. That's his username, and he started posting images and tagging Blender. I was like, this is kind of cool. Like, this doesn't look like what I've been doing, the photo composites. So I started to do a little bit of a deep dive and Google what Blender was. And at first I was like, okay, am I going to start like making smoothies? What is this? Um, but then I was really surprised and then I came across that, again, I don't know his username, but the guy that inspired me to do dinosaurs, that there's just like this whole world of modeling and sculpting, and I didn't even know what those words were at first. I just was really inspired by what was being created, in that you can do that through the computer. Um, and so that's when I started to research, how do I learn how to use Blender. And then I was referenced to Udemy. And then I remember, I think his name is Julian. He's a French guy, but he had a full course on modeling a Allosaurus. And so that was my first kind of experience with Blender. And after that, I just fell in love with it. And then I think the whole dinosaur obsession just started happening all
Mhm.
of a sudden. But yeah, it just sort of happened like that. And it's weird because I don't necessarily feel like an instructor. I just I just wanted to share things that I struggled with when I was first learning, maybe steps or things that weren't described to me, such as, why are we creating a mesh like this? Like, what is the purpose of this? Um, Whereas I tried to say, hey, if you're going to create something like this this is kind of your base mesh. Like you don't want to disturb this by using Dynatopo. Just kind of going through that and maybe making it easier for somebody else looking to get into Blender.
Yeah, I think that um, if you don't want to call it being an instructor, I think I would call it's the best way to actually instruct people. Just learning from your own mistakes and putting it on the internet is, yeah, I think one of the best people that teach Blender. They actually do the same. So I know a person that is also like creates courses on sculpting, and yeah, he literally just writes down what he has or what he used to have issues with, but back then he was writing it down, and he literally makes courses about these things. So I think you're on the
Exactly.
right track.
Oh, well, thank you.
So you focus a lot on modeling and designing. Do you see yourself creating a course on animation or game-ready assets in the future?
Yes, the short answer is yes. The long answer is it's just another thing that I need to prioritize into my day. I have been learning, again, modeling for me is more of my niche. I really enjoy it. So anything outside of that scope starts to become a little bit more like a task. But for me, I think it's really important to learn animation and rigging. I do a little bit of rigging with my models. I don't necessarily share that. Like I don't teach it because I don't think I'm comfortable enough to kind of share that knowledge, the lack of really. Um, but it's something that I would like to pursue because as a modeler, you want to learn how your mesh is going to deform and how well it's going to deform. And you're not going to know that if you don't animate your model or rig it at least. So that's really important and definitely something that I am trying to really gear myself towards. There's this YouTuber, he goes by CG Dive. I'm not sure if you've heard of him, but he is also he's a really good instructor if you're looking to get into rigging. He does all sorts of different kind of setups, so you're not just working with just a dinosaur with, I think it's quadrupedal pedal legs. Yeah, so definitely yes, I would love to, and it's on my to-do list.
All right, yeah, great to hear that. I'm looking forward to that
Thank
because
you.
I also would be interested in branching out a bit on rigging, making game ready models and animation. So that's a hint to people who are subscribed to my channel what to expect. um, okay, so okay, I'm gonna ask one last question. What's been the most unexpected lesson you've learned through building your career?
The most unexpected lesson. Hmm. So this is a good question. Very unexpected question. Um, I think that the thing that first came off the top of my head is to do what you love. I know that's very cliche, but whatever it is you enjoy doing, whether it be creature modeling, you know, designing clothes like in Blender, just like the really not odd things to do, but something that you think people wouldn't like. I think you'd be surprised that somebody would be interested in it. And I think you can find a little community inside of Blender. I think it's really important to have a community as well when you're working with art because it can feel a little bit isolating, um, especially if you want to share your work and kind of allow other people to see it. Um, So not necessarily a lesson per se, but more of just like don't be afraid to just do it. Put yourself out there, um, because that's really important, especially if you're looking to get into Blender as a career. Is you need to be able to share your work, be able to talk about your work, be able to kind of sell yourself as well. Um, but yeah, just do what you love.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, good advice. So now it's the most exciting part.
Oh no.
and the most nerve-wracking part. not
Oh,
not
this is just
not to me.
yeah, not for you. You're like a pro at this.
No, because I'm just asking the questions. I'm here all comfortable.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
So for those who don't know, right now Rachele will take on a challenge, a 10-minute challenge, in which she has to try her best to sculpt a dinosaur head that you will see in a second. While, if it wasn't hard enough, I will ask her these rapid fire questions to spice things up.
I'm ready.
Okay, let's start. Okay, question number 1, category dinosaurs and paleo art. Do you have a favorite dinosaur species?
I really like the Velociraptor.
Mm-hmm.
I think it reminds me of like a Roadrunner, to be honest, here in the States.
Have you ever corrected someone about dinosaur anatomy?
Yes. Well, I don't correct them unless they're actually looking for feedback, if they want constructive feedback. Otherwise, I just try to be as positive as possible.
Yeah. Do you reference fossil images for accuracy? So, like blueprints?
I do.
Do you care about whether your dinosaurs are scientifically accurate?
Yes, and that's why I use I try to use accurate measurements when sculpting, or not sculpting, when modeling them.
Are you planning on adding feathers to a dinosaur in a future video? Because you already have done that, right?
Done that? Yeah, the thing that I find most complicated is just trying to work with like shader nodes. I think that is just something that I still haven't quite wrapped my head around. That makes sense.
Do you prefer modeling herbivores over carnivores?
I think I prefer carnivores, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, I think almost everyone would say that.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried to replicate Jurassic Park's dino style? So, a certain dinosaur from Jurassic Park.
No, I've never tried. I've tried maybe just like the texture style, but I've never actually tried to. Yeah. Oh boy. This is just showing how how much more I need to practice.
Yeah, that's fine, but guys, still keep in mind, yeah, she's more of a modeler. But yeah. Have you modeled a dinosaur with damaged or broken features? So, like scars or something like this?
No, but I want to.
Do you base your work on recent paleontology research?
Yes, and I actually use a lot of AI to kind of help me find the right references for it.
Mhm. Have you ever sculpted a dinosaur with a speculative design? So, you know, sometimes you see these crazy designs. I mean, I think one of these could be like Jurassic Park's Dilophosaurus, but just with these, how would you say? With controversial design. This could be a better put.
I don't think so. I try to stay true to the actual kind of anatomy, I suppose.
Mhm.
If that makes sense.
Do you like adding scales to your model?
No. I think it's very time consuming. I prefer to use alphas if at all possible, but it definitely, makes it a little bit more realistic if you add in your own scales.
Do you think most movie dinosaurs are too inaccurate?
Yeah, I'd probably say I'd lean towards yes. I mean, there's those documentary series, I think Walking with Dinosaurs, where they're pretty accurate. I've not seen it myself, but yeah, I think a lot of stuff is just kind of Hollywood glamorized a little bit.
Have you ever modeled a dinosaur entirely from memory?
No, never.
Okay, now it's another category. It's Blender specific workflows. Do you use Blender sculpt mode daily?
No. Actually, I do use sculpt mode when I'm modeling. I find it if you need to tweak some faces or smooth some topology out, then I will use sculpt mode for that.
Okay, I wanted to ask, do you work with DinoTopo, but I think you're using it right now.
I don't use it very much, but for this case, I'm using it. But yeah, it's definitely something that I need to, it's on my big to-do list of things to just kind of become more comfortable with. Yeah.
Have you ever created your own sculpting brushes? So maybe I would say, have you ever created your own alpha brushes?
Not, but I've always wanted to use, like, we have chickens on the property, and so they're constantly losing their feathers. And so I thought it'd be really cool to somehow incorporate their feathers into, I don't know, modeling a dinosaur with feathers.
Do you keep your viewport in matcap when sculpting?
Let's see. I'm in Studio, but I will occasionally use matcap.
Have you ever rendered a dinosaur in Eevee for speed?
No, I tend to use cycles. I have a pretty strong GPU, so I just think it looks a lot nicer.
Okay, another question. Do you use the pose brush for dino posing?
Will occasionally if I need to move like an arm or a limb away from where I'm modeling or something. I'll just sort of grab it and then just pull it away and then just kind of save that as the rest pose. But no, not generally.
Have you ever animated your dinosaur models?
I have, but it's been a very long time.
Mhm.
Oh boy, this poor dino.
Yeah,
Probably wish. Sorry.
if that helps, almost every sculpt so far hasn't been amazing.
Like, no wonder why this dino was extinct.
Yeah. Do you organize your Blender UI?
No, I mean, there's like a timeline one that will pop up when I'm modeling, and I'll go ahead and just sort of get rid of that. But for the most part, I just use the default Blender kind of UI, especially when I'm instructing, because most people don't have customized UIs.
Another category, artistic intent and style. Do you try to tell a story with your models?
No, just because I'm primarily modeling, but I did do a little bit of kind of an environment with, oh no, my timer went off.
Oh yeah, same here. Right.
Oh boy, this is,
Here's
it's
the
been really
point.
nice being on the podcast. You probably won't ask me to come back.
So guys, check out this interview that will probably pop up somewhere out here. And yeah, let me also know who would you like to appear here next. And see you next time. Bye.